Ricordiamo intanto che la partenza delle finali sarà alle ore 9, fra 4 minuti l'inizio della live streaming della Mix Relay, seconda Mix Relay della stagione dopo la Val Thorens, dopo la staffetta mista di apertura in Val Thorens. So in a few minutes we will have the official results for the composition of the final of the 12 teams that will have access to the final. 9 o'clock the start of the A final with 12 teams. We just remind you that the first one competing will be women, and then we will have men, and the start of live streaming will be in 4 minutes, 8:45 live streaming of the second mix relay of the season. We will then give the results, and then both races to be ready on the starting line. Both the races, men and women, the first 6 to do the presentation on the live cameras for the live streaming. So be ready a few minutes before. We will start 5 minutes calling them, and then from the 4 minutes until the second minutes we will introduce and present the best 16 that will be in the first line, then the choose of the second line from the 7 until the 12. Qualche istante poi avremo l'ufficialità dei risultati con la composizione di tutte le staffette che saranno in finale, le 12 staffette in finale. Ricordiamo già nei risultati ufficiosi soltanto 2 squadre hanno accesso alle fasi finali per ogni nazione, quindi la Svizzera ne potrà portare solo 2, in modo che rientri nelle migliori 12 anche la squadra slovacca, che era la prima esclusa in 13ª posizione. Few minutes and we will have the official results of the composition of the 12 teams that will compete on the great final, the A final.
In wenigen Minuten dann die offiziellen Resultate. Bis dahin warten wir durch gespannt, welche 12 Teams uns dann in ca. 15 Minuten dann wieder begegnen werden. Die Schweizer, das so viel ist schon bekannt, werden nur 2 Teams mitnehmen dürfen. Also nur die 2 schnellsten Teams der Schweizer werden es ins Finale schaffen. Das heißt, aller Voraussicht nach sollten dann die Slowaken, die momentan auf der 13 liegen, nachrücken ins Finale. Aber wir warten natürlich erstmal noch auf die offiziellen Ergebnisse.
Good morning and welcome to the 5th Vertimotiv ISMF World Cup of 2023. We're here in Martello in Italy. The local time is 8:45 in the morning. We are right here in the beautiful, beautiful heart of the Südtirol in the Stelvio National Park, and where we are speaking a very unusual mixture of Italian and German. And we are at the Martello Biathlon Centre for the 2nd year in a row. I have with me this morning Max de Dion, who's currently sitting 2nd in the overall rankings, 130 points behind Thibaut Samé. Good morning, Max.
Good morning, Katie.
How are you today?
I'm fine. Recovered from the individual on of Thursday, and looking forward to the sprint of tomorrow.
Great, and you're having an absolutely cracking season.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Brilliant. Well, we can see on our screen here, this is the Biathlon Centre in Val Martello. We have 20 countries registered to start this week, and we're here to do a relay race. Amazing that I've got this far in already, and that's what we're only just talking about. But 9 o'clock, the kickoff of the mixed relay. We have seen the qualifications already this morning. How is it out there this morning?
But the athletes had to wake up very early. I think the Swiss guys woke up at 4:30 this morning, so it was not maybe the best night for them, but they are looking forward to give their best on this beautiful course.
So we have 12 teams that have qualified. We are having a look here. We've got the French, Robin Galando and Emily Harrop. The Spanish first team is Ana Alonso and Oriol Cardona. Celia Perea-Pese and, beg your pardon, those were the people these are the teams that were were qualifying this morning, in for qualification. But what we think, we're waiting for official confirmation. But just before we get to that, we are looking a little bit. It's mild here, isn't it? It's not so cold. It's nice temperatures. So all the standing around is not going to be too terrible for those athletes in between there.
No, yeah, the weather is perfect. Not too cold, not too warm. The snow is not very. No, it's not very. Yeah, I wouldn't say not very good, but the skins don't glide very well on such snow. It's like big salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
So quite big grains of sand.
Big grains,
yeah.
and you have to use a lot of power to be efficient on such snow.
And here we're having a look at the Chinese team. I don't think any of them qualified today, but so brilliant to see such a huge team under the guidance of Oscar Angeloni, of course, formerly of the Swiss team. Great to see, and there's the Japanese team. But let's go back. So we have 2 French teams in the final, 2 Spanish, 2 Italians, 2 Swiss, Austrians, Slovakians, 2 Austrians, I beg your pardon, Slovakia, Germany, and that's it. And here we have a little look at the course. A bit unusual. Normally we would see a course that goes up and down right next to each other, like we did in Val Thorens and we did in Boitaul last year. But today they're going across the road.
Yeah, it was a lot of job for the organizers, they had to put snow on the road to allow the course to change side of the mountain.
Yeah, so it's quite exciting. So the first loop is across the road. We're going to see that in an animation in just a second. And the second loop is the first part of the sprint race for tomorrow. So as you see, goes up here across the road. Road was closed at 6:30 this morning. So if you weren't here, tough luck. And then back in front of us to the handover zone, away up onto the first part of the sprint course and back down, and as you see, handover zone from women to men, men to women, and so on, and then the last man will go to the finish line.
Yep.
And exciting, here are the Italians. Nicolo Canclini not racing today. Giulia Morada and Nicolo Canclini, of course, last year's I think second place in the European Championships last year, but they can see Michele Boscacci there, who is racing again with his wife. We have a couple of married couples in there today, but here you are. Look at you, number 2 in the rankings. That's just brilliant. Thibaut Selmay just ahead of you there. Rémi Bonnet not racing this weekend. Looking forward to the the World Championships next week. Robert Antonioli having a good season again. Xavier Gachet back up there as well. There was a bit of an old school top 3 in the individual race in the other day. Idaline, Boscacci and Gachet. The women, Giulia Morada sitting at the top of the table. How exciting. Axel Gachet-Molleret not far behind her. Celia Perea-Pese of France. Emily Harrop, last year's overall winner in 4th. Ana Alonso, Alberta Silvestre, Mariana Jegachikova, Alessandra Schmidt, Johanna Hiemer having a brilliant season, and Laura de Planche sitting there in 10th. So we are 10 minutes from starting. Talk to me a little bit about the kind of athletes. I mean, we've talked about this before. You were with me in Val Thorens. The sort of athletes that do well. Let's talk about that first, and then I want to talk about the makeup of the teams a little bit.
Yes, to be performant on a relay race, you have to be fast, good in transitions, but always also have some endurance because the race is quite long for pure sprinters. It's almost 10 minutes of racing, and so yeah, it's you have to be very polyvalent, good in everything to be performing on a mixed relay race.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a little look at a relay explainer right now. Ski mountaineering involves climbing and descending mountains on skis. Going up requires synthetic skins attached to the skis. This is often called skinning. The relay is one of the most exciting races to watch. It's fast, it shows all the elements of the sport, and it's great for spectators. Traditionally, this race has always been run in men's and women's categories, 4 teammates in the men's race and 3 in the women's, each athlete going round the circuit once. The new Olympic format is with a team of 2 competitors, 1 woman and 1 man, each completing the circuit twice. Each country may have up to 2 teams competing. The handover is done near the start line by tapping the next athlete with a hand. It's made up of a circuit with 2 ascents and 2 descents, and a short section with skis on the rucksack on the second climb. The total height is between 150 and 180 metres. Each circuit lasts 10 to 15 minutes. The first team across the line wins, and excitingly, anything can happen. This discipline is usually reserved for World and European Championships. Great, there's a little bit of an explainer if you didn't know what was going on with the mixed relay. Not unusual because we have only had 2 on the circuit this year. We had the first one in the European Championships in Boitao last February, and a year ago now already. There's Caroline Ulrich of the Swiss team, who is racing with, I can't remember. Of course, Mathieu Fabre, who had a brilliant sprint race here last year. He was the under-23 winner. Very exciting for him. The makeup of the team is a little bit different to what we saw in Val Thorens and last year. Let's talk a little bit about that. The women are mostly the same because there are fewer women. They're sort of obliged to put out all the women they have, but there's a little bit of a change in the men's side of the teams.
Yeah, since the discipline is very new for all the nations, they try different ideas, and so yeah, they mixed up the teams a little bit. And also, since we have a sprint race tomorrow, the pure sprinters, the one who are willing to go to the final and expecting to go to the final, are preserving and recovering for that race tomorrow. So they gave their spot to other team members, and so it gives another opportunity for the teams to test teams before the World Championships next week, where we will end the World Championships with a mixed relay on Sunday, the 5th of March.
Yes, indeed. And what is interesting about that, though, as we were saying, is that you're saying, the best sprinters, but we're actually talking here about the best male sprinters, because the best female sprinters are mostly still racing today, so they have the luxury, the men, because there are more of them, as you say, and giving some of the younger athletes, some of the less experienced, those who don't normally get the chance. And as you say, there was no B final today, so we've gone straight to A, meaning that there's less opportunity for people to get a final under their belt.
Yeah, in Val Thorens we had the B final, so yeah, teams that weren't qualified for the A final still had the opportunity to race a second time, and the coaches could compare the times of the B teams with the times of the teams taking part in the A final, and that's not the case today. So the 3 big teams, Switzerland, France and Italy, only registered 2 teams, except for Switzerland, which put a 3rd one.
So here's our first start list. Sorry to interrupt, but we have got we can see 2 from each of the big teams, but what was very disappointing for the Swiss is that they had the 3 fastest times overall, but their 3rd fastest team had to be bumped to not be allowed to race, which is very unfortunate, but I'm afraid that's the rules of the game.
Yeah, and sometimes we could disagree with such rules, but yeah, that's the rules everyone has to respect. But yeah, for sure it's disappointing for Arnaud Gasser and Alessandra Schmidt, who were the 3rd fastest teams today, but the 3rd Swiss team as well. Yes. And so that to drop out and will not take part in the A final.
So we can see, actually, you can see numbers of their bib numbers. Numbers 1 to 11 are in order, but sorry, 7 is missing, and so it's just, that shows that there were teams that were faster, but there were already other teams of their nations qualified. And just so we can explain that to perhaps someone who hasn't grasped this, it's because otherwise you would just have a final full of probably France, Italy, and Switzerland.
And Spain.
And Spain,
in Spain
exactly.
Maybe, yeah.
And so it just gives the other teams an opportunity to actually be in the final. And this is how it's going to go forward to the Olympics as well. And that's how we're sort of not trialing, but this is how it's working.
But yeah, at the same time, you could say maybe 10th of the A final, but I'm not the 10th fastest teams in the world.
This we have got coming up now, Marianne Faton and Florian Ulrich for Switzerland. They're team number 16. Behind them, Caroline Ulrich, Florian's sister, and Matteo Favre, also of Switzerland. Matteo Favre had a great sprint race here last season in Val Martello.
So these two teams were the two fastest teams this morning.
This is Nadia Maguet and Giulia Compagnoni of Italy. Not a usual combination and not one we've seen. Maguet was in the B final in Val Thorens. Johanna Hiemer and Paul Verbniak, I think this is his first ever mixed relay, I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
She was racing with Armin Höffel in Val Thorens and was 8th. Coming up now, Tatjana Paller and Finn Hirsch of Germany. Tatjana Paller has raced before. In fact, they both raced in, they were 11th in Val Thorens, and she was with, she was 8th in the European Championships. Here we are, Ana Alonso and Oriol Cardona called possibly today's favourites, or maybe before we saw the performance of the Swiss this morning.
Yeah, Oriol is very impressive at the moment. And so, yeah, Oriol is very strong at the moment, and Anna was very impressive in transitions in Val Thorens. Marianne, who is known to be very fast in transitions, was beaten by Ana Alonso so in the last transition. So, for sure, they will be maybe the big favorites today.
Yeah, I mean, Ana Alonso is having a really sensational start to her season. I mean, we're halfway through now, and she is doing really well. Obviously, Oriol Cardona call, but Ana Alonso is sitting 5th in the overall rankings, and Oriol 8th. We didn't see coming in there, but we also have Alba Di Silvestro, Michele Boscacci. We have Emily Harrop and Robin Galando, Mariana Jegorčíková and Jakub Sjarnik. Also, that makes up the thing. So we have one married couple racing together. We have a brother and sister on the start line, but not together. And so, as we know, the women go first. So you would have seen perhaps that they were dressed differently. The women ready to race, the men still in some warm-up gear.
And what's special is that the women, for sure take more time on the course than the men, but have less recovery because their recovery is the same as the racing time of the men. So it's very hard. Yeah, it's harder for women than for men, but they are used to it.
Yeah, and just to give an idea, roughly we're thinking sort of, well, the fastest time I think was 10:27 for the women with Caroline Ulrich, and we think Florian Ulrich, her brother, had the fastest men's time, I think, at 8:48.
I think Marianne had the fastest time as well.
Oh, did she? Right. So, but we're looking about 10. And they're off. 10 for the men, 10 for the women, and 9 for the men. And they're off. This is the mixed relay. We're here in Val Martello, and the women are off. We can see there. We will in a second. That looks like Caroline Ulrich.
Anna Alonso and Caroline Ulrich are taking the lead, but
yeah,
it's only the beginning. And the French team who was on the second line or third line will make their move to take the lead, maybe.
And not forgetting Mariana Jegorčíková in there, who is also very strong.
Yeah, but even in sprint, she has normally slow starts.
Yes.
So she will make her move in the second part of the race.
Is that Emily Harrop coming up the outside there with Ana Alonso as we head up to if crossing the road there? You can see the road closures. Excellent work by the organising committee.
I think Emily is the favorite if you only take the woman. But we'll see what Robin Galando, her partner will make in the second.
Because he's a good young sprinter. He's very good, strong.
Sometimes, yeah. In Val Thorens, he started very fast his first leg and kind of collapsed in the second part of the race. But yeah, still was finished very strong. And now, yeah, he must be happy to be in the A final, since in Val Thorens he was in the B final.
Yes, indeed. And I think so. This Emily Harrop taking a good lead there over Anna Alonso. I would. So that looks like Celia Peria-Pessé nearest to us in fourth or fifth. Caroline Illich, yes. Julia, so it's France with Emily Harrop, Spain with Anna Alonso Rodriguez, Giulia Compagnoni of Italy. Looks like... so there's Mariana Jegorčíková just going into fourth. Head-to-head, what is that? Tatiana Paller?
Yes, Tatiana is on the left side of the screen.
Paller, yeah, and Giulia Compagnoni still there.
Emily has a 4-5 seconds lead on the rest of the group, which is still all together.
Yeah, Anna Alonso, Giulia Compagnoni, Tatiana Paller, Mariana Jegorčíková, Caroline Ulrich, Celia Peria-Pessé, Marianne Faton, Johanna Himmer, and Marta Garcia in behind them.
And Marianne Faton in the middle of the group.
Yeah, with the white helmet, that is Marianne Faton. The two Swiss athletes there together. Oh no, that's, I beg your pardon, that's Sarah Dreher in the middle of the group. Marianne Faton coming up on the left of your screen there. Caroline Ulrich just ahead of her. And that is Alba Di Silvestro. Not sort of the short, fast races are not her favorite, Alba Di Silvestro. She prefers a long, sort of some time to get into it. But how will this compare to a sprint?
Yeah, it's very different than a sprint. It's much longer. It's 3 or 4 times longer than a sprint.
131 meters of vertical today.
You have more transitions, yeah, you have, let's say, less fights between each other. In sprint, you really have to choose your line and to make your place. Here in mixed relay, you have more time to pass the others, and also maybe technical mistakes have less impact than in a sprint race.
So here we have Emily Harrop coming up over this bridge. I love this course here. It's so, and no, we're close so that people can see us, but it feels quite mountainy, feels quite sort of rural. Tatiana Paller there in second place. That was Caroline Ulrich tucked in behind her. Bit of a gap there between Emily Harrop and the next 3, and then the rest of the pack, it looks like. Into transition for the first time. Emily Harrop, that looks like Caroline Ulrich up next to her. Emily Harrop first out. And Caroline next, then followed by
Alonso, Tatiana Paller.
Yeah, and Marianne Faton with Celia Peria-Pessé and Mariana Jegorčíková, yeah, in behind her.
Yeah, also if Emily wants to win today, she has to make a gap in each of her laps, because yeah, the density among men is tighter. So for sure, if she wants, she can give a good lead to Robin Garlando. He could maybe keep his lead
because he's
over the rest of the
Oriol
group.
Cardona coming hard on his heels, so which is not where you want to be. Oh, little jump. Caroline Ulrich, Anna Alonso, Tatiana Paller, Marianne Faton, Celia Peria-Pessé, Mariana Jegorčíková.
Yeah, that jump is quite painful because it's flat behind, so it must be painful in the shoes.
Oh, when you land.
Yeah, when you land.
Yeah, the vibration going up through your feet. Great shots here of the transition. Remind me the story of who carries what in terms of skins. They have separate skins.
Yeah, most of the racers here will have 3 pair of skins on them.
Right.
Some maybe 1. Like maybe Emilia, I think in Val Thorens had only 1 pair of skins.
Yeah, because it looked like she was untangling a used pair of skins there. But Emily Harrop coming in here.
The Spanish team has a special technique where they roll the skin, and so it's very easy to separate them. And we see Alonso maybe
very fast,
got a few seconds on Emily in that transition.
Yeah.
And yeah, she passed to Caroline in that transition.
Yeah, that's a good gap now. And there's Giulia Compagnoni taking off. And that looks like Sarah Dreyer and Marta Garcia of Austria and Spain, respectively. We should be able to see some split times there. Bear with us. Perhaps not. Actually, I think the split times will come when they hand over to the men.
No, that should be this one.
Well, we will wait and see if we have, as soon as we have any official timings, we will let you know. But what we can see with our own eyes, Emily Harrop ahead of Ana Alonso of Spain, Caroline Ulrich of Switzerland, Marianne Faton of Switzerland, Celia Peria-Pessé of France, Marianne Jäger-Číková of Slovakia, Tatiana Paller of Germany, Johanna Himmer, oh no, I think that's Johanna Himmer, and then
Alba.
Giulia Compagnoni.
Alba, I think.
Is it Alba coming up fast? Yeah. So there we said, you know, when it's just a little bit longer, just a bit like many of the Italians actually, because you know you think of the likes of Matteo Idalin, doesn't like short races, takes a while to get going, and then comes through the field like a train.
But yeah, we already have something like a 20 seconds gap between Emily Harrop and maybe Marianne Jäger-Číková. So that will be difficult to catch later on the course.
And Ana Alonso heading up there in second with arguably, possibly the strongest male teammate amongst them all. I mean, not all of them are good, but possibly, well...
Caroline is
slipping
a little. So now we are on the sprint course that you will see again tomorrow.
Into the foot part.
Yeah, the snow seems quite soft in the foot part, so it's difficult to use a lot of power
to get momentum.
It's like racing on sand.
Caroline there. And did she have the same fate as you? She was in Morgin. She didn't finish the individual race.
Yeah, she broke her shoe in the last downhill.
There's a bit of a meme going around of her walking home. Yeah. But there we go, Emily Harrop at the top of the foot part, followed by Ana Alonso of Spain, Caroline Ulrich of Switzerland, and that looks like Alba Di Silvestro coming through, or
maybe Celia and Alba.
Yeah.
Celia, Alba, Marianne Jäger-Číková, Marianne on the left, on the right is Tatiana Paller.
And that's Marianne Faton, yes indeed. And that's Johanna Himmer, or Sarah Himmer, I think, coming up there.
So Emily has 10 seconds lead, 10-15 seconds lead.
And Johanna Himmer, what a great season she's having.
Yeah, it's nice to see her performing at that level. On the individual race, she was very close to the top 5, and yeah, for sure she must be looking forward to the World Cup in Schladming, on country.
Yes.
And yeah, it will be interesting to follow her.
Yeah, sitting 9th overall. But here, Emily Harrop sitting 4th this year, last year's overall winner and the sprint winner, of course. She's had a couple of missed races this year, injury or illness, but she's back.
Yeah, Emily had broken ribs.
Did she? Gosh, that's painful. And she's out of then on her way down to the handover to Robin Galando. Ana Alonso, second in, second out, off to head over to Oriel Cardona Call. Caroline Ulrich there, just taking her skins off, and she'll be down to hand over to Matteo Favre.
Yeah, they have to put back their skins on before passing the relay. So, yeah, we'll see if the positions change and that transition.
Looks like quite an interesting downhill, quite sort of, with the gates and the...
Yeah, it's an easy downhill.
It's easy, is it? Okay.
Here you can take some speed, but nothing special. An easier downhill than what we had at the sprint race of Morgin.
Oh yes, that's quite a challenge. And you see, we've added in this, looks like a new, the sort of the blue, somebody was telling me what they're called. Those very clear transition areas marked by the blue triangle pyramids.
So Emily will pass the relay now to Robin Galando. And Alonso not far behind.
And off they go, Robin Galando on his way. Robin Galando was first, he won the B final in Val Thorens with Laura de Planche.
Yeah, I hope he learned from his mistakes in Val Thorens, where he started too quickly the qualification. But Oriol is not far behind. Maybe Oriol will already catch him at the top of the uphill, the first uphill.
Oh, and Celia Perry-Epese just passing over just ahead of Caroline Ulrich. So to Baptiste Elmenreich and Matteo Favre. Jakob Sjanik takes over Michele Boscacci, Florian Ulrich.
Who had the best time this morning will maybe catch some of the athletes in front of him.
Florian Ulrich had the best time, yes.
So we have the time, the first split times.
Great.
10:33. Yeah, I think that's a good time for the first leg. I think Emily will be faster in the second round, and only 7 seconds lead on Alonso, which we see that Oriol already closed a little.
Yes.
Yeah, we see two different techniques. Robin is gliding a lot, but Oriol is running.
He's Werner. Yeah. He's a little bit running, as you say, yeah. So here we are, we're at the mixed relay. We're in the Stelvio National Park at Val Martello at the Martel Biathlon Centre. We have the first leg. The women have done their first leg. It is, of course, teams of 2, 1 man, 1 woman, maximum of 2 per country. And here we see on our screen Florian, Robin Galando of France, followed by Aurel Cardona-Coll of Spain, because Emily Harrop came in first for the women, and Alonso for Spain, and Aurel Cardona-Coll just trotting gently up there and eating up the space between himself and Robin Galando. Just by the time we next see them, I suspect he will be in the lead. Behind them, Matteo Favre of Switzerland, Baptiste Elmenreich of France.
Jakub Sjanik of Slovakia, Michele Boscacci of Italy, and Florian Ulrich from Switzerland.
Indeed. Not Michele Boscacci's favourite type of thing, but better, again, as we say.
Yeah, he should be better in a relay race than in a sprint race. But still, in the past, he had some podiums or maybe a victory in a sprint race 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, for sure, with time is passing and years are flying.
Yes.
So, but yeah, for sure, is still a very strong athlete.
And Aurel Cardona-Coll goes into transition first, but not terribly far behind for Robin Galando of France.
If Aurel is leaving first, it means that Aurel passed Robin in the uphill. So Aurel in the first uphill won 10 seconds on Robin, something like that, which is quite a lot.
And it looks like, yeah, we're still the same. Florian Ulrich, Baptiste Elmenreich,
Good
Matteo
transition for
Favre,
Florian.
Jakob Sjanik and Michele Boscacci.
Yeah, very nice transition and a very nice first uphill for Florian, who was maybe 7 at the bottom and now he's in third position.
We've not seen so much of Florian Ulrich this season as I would have expected to in the sprints, but good to see him here. Oh yeah, look, as you say, quite a flat landing. And you can see Robin Galando is not allowing any space.
It's Baptiste Elmenreich.
Beg your pardon, Baptiste Elmenreich in behind there. Of course, the very distinctive red helmet in behind Florian Ulrich, with Matteo Favre behind them. And we can just see there. Oh, yes, so that was. Oh, Aurel's had a terrible.
Robin passed.
Some sort of mishap in transition there, perhaps, for Aurel Cardona-Coll.
Yeah, we see that Baptiste Elmenreich is using the same skins as in the first uphill.
Yeah.
With the big ball of skins.
Yeah. Not quite as efficient, perhaps. Yeah, look,
good transition for Florian, who will live with.
And Matteo Favre.
Yeah, the Swiss team fighting for the third position right now. Yeah, not the best transition for
Baptiste. No, not
I'm
ideal.
not sure it's the best technique to use only one pair of skin. For sure, you carry less weight, but you lose maybe too much time in the transitions.
Yeah, and although, as you say, a bit of a slip there for Michele Boscacci, but oh no, he's lost his skin. And as you say, it's not as dramatic as for a sprint, but still it's important.
Yeah, for sure. If you can win 1 second at every transition, is 1 second less at the finish line, so it makes a difference. Not the best sprint so far for Nadir, the second Italian team of Nadir and Giulia Campagnoli.
No. And yet Nadir, well, what are their strengths, those two?
Nadir is a very complete athlete. He can make podiums in indoor races and in sprint races. Verticals are not his favorite, but still he can be in top 10 or top 15 in good days. So yeah, Nadir is an all-round athlete. Giulia as well. I think in Morgin she was in the top 10 of every discipline or top 12 of every discipline. So yeah, they are quite complete athletes, but not the best. They are not in the top 3 of one discipline.
Well, they're sitting 11th and 13th male and female rankings at the moment. Tell me, you were talking about how they're mixing up the teams, see how the teams work. How important, because they don't race together. They're on the course at separate times. So how important is the team makeup?
But yeah, you should put the best men and the best women together, then the second best and the second best, and so on.
So
don't try to have the same level among the teams, but put the best ones together, second best one together. But that's always difficult to know in advance, which is the best one.
And who's having a good day or not such a great day, or
Exactly.
Because they only had to choose till 5 o'clock last night was the deadline to choose their teams.
So Matteo is in third position.
Yes,
Baptiste had a good first of second lap since he missed its transition before.
Yeah, so what do we have? We have Florian Ulrich, I beg your pardon, I'm all over the place. We have Aurel Cardona-Coll ahead of Robin Galando. He's taken back his lead.
Florian Ulrich back in third.
Yeah, followed by Matteo Favre, Baptiste Elmenreich and Jakob Sjarnik. Looks like to me.
Yeah, seems like Robin is tiring a little.
Yes.
He will be happy to go down and rest for 10 minutes before his second lap.
Yeah, Aurel Cardona-Coll looking relaxed.
Relaxed, yeah, he knows he's in the lead and that Alonso after him will be strong as well.
And Robin Galando just needs to get down. Oh, bit of a slip.
Don't forget to clip.
To allow Emily Harrop to really try and catch up again with Ana Alonso. That's what his job is now.
But yeah, for sure, if Emily and Robin want to win today, Emily will have to pass Ana Alonso and make at least, I would say, 10 or 15 seconds gap on Ana, which will be very difficult, but not impossible for her.
Yeah. And both of them also will be hoping to do well, those women, in the sprint tomorrow. So
So yeah, here we have Florian and Matteo Favre going down. After them should be Baptiste Elmenreich.
Yeah, and then Jakob Sjarnik. If it's all.
Paul Verbniak, I think, was.
Was it? Paul Verbniak, we think, in his first mixed relay.
Jakob Sjarnik. Paul Verbniak, Michele Boscacci. Yeah, Michele told me just before that he's not doing the sprint race tomorrow. He will do an individual race in Valtellina Robier, next to where he lives.
Okay.
And so yeah, he's going back home to Saturday. Matteo Favre and Florian Ulrich still battling for
between
the
them.
third position.
Yeah. 3-4, 3-4. And off they go. That is the two Swiss teams, Marianne Faton and Caroline Ulrich. Jana Hiemer here waiting for Paul Verbniak. Celia Peria-Pessé waiting for Baptiste Elmenreich. And away they go. Celia Peria-Pessé is away.
Yeah, still. I think it's possible for these teams to reach the podium, because yeah, Florian, Marianne, and also yeah, Mateuva are pure sprinters, so they will maybe struggle a little bit more in the second loop.
Yes.
And yeah, Michele Boscacci and some others are more individual racers, so
Yes.
maybe they will be more. Yeah, their 2 times will be even among their first round and second round.
Now this is tiring for Emily Harrop because we don't normally see the women doing this sort of the running pace, but she really needs to catch Ana Alonso.
Yeah, it's always easier when you are second and you see the first one. It motivates you a lot, and you
Have something to aim for.
yeah, you aim for it, and yeah, the first one. Maybe Anna will maybe look back a few times to see if Emily is closing the gap. But yeah, right now she should be focusing on her heartbeat and manage her effort.
Okay, so at the second transition, the fastest team was, yes, Oriol Cardona Coll, Ana Alonso, Emily Harrop, Robin Galando. What's the time difference? 20 seconds, 4 seconds. Something like that. The tightest battle is the 3 and 4, as we saw.
And also for the top 5 is quite open as well.
But I was thinking, as you were just saying earlier, about when you've got someone to aim for, I think that's what's so impressive about Axel Gachet-Morelli, because she's always in the front. She's never got, to set her own pace, constantly be having to manage her own pace with nothing in front of her to focus on.
Yeah, Axel uses the same strategy at every race. She starts fast, makes a gap, and then she manages that gap and finish in front.
But it must be quite a mental game, I think, for her to always be there in the front with nobody to chase, nobody necessarily that close behind her as well. So interesting. Anyway, she's not here, so let's talk about what is happening. We are at the mixed relay in Val Martello in Italy, in the Sud Tirol. There is Emily Harrop going into transition behind Ana Alonso Rodriguez, who took the lead, the Spanish team took the lead after Oriol Cardona Coll had a better loop than Robin Galando.
Yeah, Anna still has a 15 seconds lead on Emilia Robb. We saw in that uphill, so it's the second time the women are racing. After them, the men will finish the race, and we saw that them in this uphill that they were maybe less fast than in the first time. That's for sure, because the legs are burning. They didn't have a lot of time to recover, only 8-9 minutes. So so that's really difficult, because they are giving everything. The first round and second round they are giving everything as well, but for sure the tank is getting emptier.
And as you said, the women have a longer on the course and less recovery time, so it is accumulatively a tougher race for them.
Yeah, they're very strong.
So does that look like a faster, a smaller gap as they came in there? Difficult to tell as we only just saw them, but Ana Alonso ahead of Emily Harrop, who's a little bit fussing there with her skins.
Yeah, and Alonso is very strong. Yeah, she will also have something like 15 seconds lead on Emily.
And up here at the top, we can see that looks like Sarah Dreyer, Giulia Compagnoni and Marta Garcia, exactly. Oh, Giulia Compagnoni just out ahead of, is that Sarah or is it Johanna? I think it's actually, it is Johanna Hiemer, yeah, it's Johanna. Johanna Hiemer, Giulia Compagnoni coming down there. Their teammates put them into 8th and 9th respectively.
Looks like someone at the 20 seconds penalty.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think that was, well, one of Compagnoni or Maghier for the Italian team. Johanna Hiemer ahead of Giulia Compagnoni.
Yeah, the time of Oriol before was 8:36, which is almost 15 seconds faster than the fastest time this morning in the qualification, which is very, very impressive.
Indeed. And think it looks like Nadir had the second fastest time, but then it was he that picked up the penalty. In that, Johanna Hiemer of Austria up close and personal with her in transition. Next to her, Marta Garcia of Spain coming in. Tatiana Paller of Germany, and already in there just to the left of transition in the yellow goggles is Giulia Compagnoni of Italy.
Yeah, good transition for Giulia.
So you might be able to hear in the background that despite the fact we're in Italy, there is a lot of German being spoken. That's because we're in the Südtirol and German is the first language here. It is, I think I've said it before, but it's just the perfect spot for me because I speak a tiny bit of Italian and a tiny bit of German, so it's great. Here we go, Anna Alonso with Emily Harrop. Do you think there's it's difficult to tell from this angle, but do you think there's made up a little bit?
Yeah,
yes,
for sure. There's only 5 seconds between them right now, so it means that Emily is pushing hard in the second leg. She will put Robin in a good position, but fighting against Oriol on such a course is never easy.
No,
and especially in the second loop, because Oriol, even in Val Thorens, was very strong in the second leg as well.
He had a negative split, I think.
Yeah, for 2 seconds, but his 2 best times. Yeah, he had the best times in the two laps.
Yeah. So Emily Harrop is pulling up.
Is struggling.
She is.
Yeah, she's pushing, giving everything she has. She must be the closest possible to Emily at the top, and then Oriol will finish the job, and Robin will never give up as well.
And so, how are they feeling right now? Burning legs, presumably, and lungs.
Everything is burning. You feel you have lactic acid in every muscle of your body. Your heartbeat is at 190 or 190, and they will be happy to cross the line in a few seconds.
There we go, and their third and fourth position we have Marianne Faton and Caroline Ulrich. Caroline just ahead, and behind them Celia Peria-Pessé of France. And Giulia Compagnoni, Alba Di Silvestro, beg your pardon, of Italy, Mariana Jegorčíková of Slovakia. Ulrich as they come up the foot part into the last set of diamonds. Robin Galando comes into his last transition of the morning, looking quite tired now, but probably guaranteed his second place.
Second place is a great result for him.
Pretty impressive, yeah, that's brilliant.
He must be happy, even if I know he would be happy with the first place as well. And don't forget to clip before the downhill.
And there we have it. Oriol Cardona-Cole finishes and greets his teammate, greeted by his teammate Ana Alonso Rodriguez. They are the winners of today's mixed relay. Whew, he's looking.
They're happy and tired.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant result from the Spaniards there. And we will hopefully any second now see Robin Galando. There we are, Robin Galando coming in to be met by Emily Harrop to take second.
He doesn't look very happy.
No, he doesn't look very happy, but that's a great hug. The French team have a really great camaraderie, I find. They're always great huggers at the end of races. And we should now see Matteo Favre coming down to meet Caroline Ulrich to take third place. Val Martello is a great place for Matteo Favre. He had a brilliant sprint race here last year, and I'm delighted to see him and Caroline Ulrich take third place here. Look how happy.
Yeah, Matteo is very happy. Yeah, and Caroline as well. Yeah, because Caroline is having not the best last races. She fell at the sprint race in Morgin, injured her wrist, and she's wearing a
wrist support.
Yeah, exactly.
And there we had the second Swiss team coming in fourth, and Baptiste Hermenreich brings it in fifth, ahead of Michele Boscacci for Italy in sixth. So Ana Alonso and Oriol Cardona-Cole finished first. Emily Harrop, Robin Galando in second. Caroline Ulrich, Matteo Favre in third. Marianne Faton, Florian Ulrich in fourth. Abadi Silvestro and Michele Boscacci. Oh, that's interesting, because I thought I just saw Baptiste Emmenreich finish ahead of Michele Boscacci, but perhaps we will wait and see.
Yeah, it looks like they had a minute penalty.
Perhaps, yeah. And Inigo Martinez,
Jakub,
Paul
and Paul.
Verbniak of Austria, yeah. In his first.
Yeah, very impressive sprint, very strong performances from every athlete. Yeah, mixed relay races are very tiring races because it's a mix of sprint, vertical, individual race. You have to not do any mistakes, be strong from the start to finish, manage very well your races, your loops,
And your recovery.
Your recovery, you need to be able to sustain a high effort, a very intense effort for many minutes, and try to recover in the downhills, recover in the transitions. But with the technical downhills, it's not very easy to recover in such downhills.
So let's have a quick look at the times. The Spaniards, Rodriguez and Ariel Cardona Cole, finished in 38:37. Emily Harrop and Robin Galando, 39:09. Caroline Ulrich and Matteo Favre, 39:35. Marianne Faton and Florian Ulrich, 39:45. We haven't got a finish time, but we can see that the French team with Perry Apese and Emmenreich did in fact pick up a minute penalty, putting Alberto Silvestre and Michele Boscacci into 5th place. We're still waiting for final times on those last ones, but and so just to recap, Ana Alonso Rodriguez and Oriol Cardona Cole win the mixed relay here in Val Martello in Italy, followed by Emily Harrop and Robin Galando. And we are going to be able to speak to them down on the finish line with Christine very shortly. Inigo Martinez, they're looking quite tired, but we are going hopefully to speak to Ana Alonso and Oriol Cardona Cole.
Ana Alonso Rodriguez, Oriol Cardona, first place in the second mixed relay of the season here in Val Martello. Ana, it was a sort of real fight between you and Emily Harrop, but you went very well, above all on the uphill sections.
Yes, I feel so good. I know that Emily is so strong, so I can try to do my best transition. I can keep the lead until the finish line, so I'm so happy for this win.
Oriol, you were so fast, but not on the first lap, but on the last lap, with an advantage of quite 30 seconds on Robin Galindo just before the sprint course.
Yes, that was thanks to my mate Anna that made a big gap, so I just tried to keep this distance and keep it like till the end. So it was nice to run here. I really like this track, and I felt really strong today.
So a great satisfaction after the second place in Val Thorens at the opening season, the winner here, and then it's a good for the next events that will be the mixed relay in the World Championships at home.
Yeah, this is one of our main goals for this season, the sprint race and the relay at home in Boitoul. So it's a good way to go there. It's like 2 weeks till the relay, so we get some confidence here and we are ready to be there running again.
Thank you very much, Hannah and Oriol, and good luck for the next races.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant result there for Ana Alonso Rodriguez and Oriol Cardona Cole, winners here of the mixed relay in Val Martello, and telling us that is one of their big goals for the World Championships, starting next week, but obviously racing that race right at the end.
Yeah, for sure. When the World Championships or a big event happens in your country, it makes it the biggest goal of the season. And yeah, I think this race sort of was used by every team as a last test before the mixed relay of the World Champs. And yeah, for sure, Anna and Oriol will race together in 2 weeks in Boitaoul.
So now tell me, Max, because you obviously don't get to do skimo racing in Belgium because that would be strange, but you do get to experience that with your running. So let's have a quick look at this though. Oriol Cardona-Coll and Alain Alonso, Emily Harrop, Robin Galando, Matteo Favre, Caroline Ulrich, Florian Ulrich and Marianne Faton, Michele Boscacci and Alba Di Silvestro. Oh, Marta Garcia Fares and Inigo Martinez, Jakub Siarnik, Mariana Chikova. Sadly, Baptiste Elmenreich and Celia Perrier-Pessé down to 8th because of that penalty. Nadia Maguet, Julia Compagnoni, Finn Hirsch and Tatiana Paller, Paul Verbniak, Johanna Hiemer, Daniel Ganal and Sarah Dreyer. A great day's racing. I think we're going to go to a little bit of a replay right now. Little bit of a replay there, give our voices a break, but some great images there from the cameras out on the course. And we can see here we are at the Martello Biathlon Centre. Oriol Cardona-Coll there just putting on his jacket, keeping warm because we'll be going to flower ceremony any minute. What are your hopes for next week, Max?
So yeah, next week I travel to Spain for the World Champs on Saturday. Yeah, we'll be racing on the sprint, vertical, and individual to maybe fight for the combined World Championship title. But yeah, my hopes are to be on the podium as often as possible. But yeah, everyone sets this race as their main goal this season, so everyone will be in shape. I hope. Yeah, I'm sure I will be too.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to race there again. Because last year I did a bronze medal in the vertical race, just a few days after recovering from COVID. And so, yeah, I will be at the top of my game there. And yeah, it will be an exciting week there.
And because you're no stranger to a podium this season, you've had, what's that now, 4, 5?
No, only 3 podiums.
Three podiums, but you had a double podium weekend in Andorra. Is that right?
Yeah. Third of the individual, second of the vertical, and second of the vertical again in Morgin.
Fantastic.
Weeks later. Yeah.
Brilliant. What a tremendous season you are having, and we're absolutely thrilled to see it. We can see there Robin Galando, who just came in second in the mixed relay, Caroline Ulrich, third with her teammate Matteo Favre, Josef Gruber, grinding away, making sure it all works and it's all happening. Christine Cavigny, the course speaker, and Emily Harrop of France in second place there. There is a proud daddy as well, Thierry Galando, Robin's father, also coach of the French team.
So yeah, for most of these athletes, they will compete. For most of these athletes, they will compete in the sprint tomorrow. So now starts a very strict protocol to recover as fast and as good as possible for tomorrow. So yeah, now we can see an Alonso for sure drinking a recovery drink, putting a jacket on. Yeah, everyone now is focused on their next race.
And so we should be about 30 seconds to the flower ceremony thereabouts, but just very quickly, what happens now? Do they do a sort of a cool down? Will they go off and try and get rid of the lactic? And
yeah, they will, I think, ski for 15 to 20 minutes, drink, eat a lot. They will have a massage and a nap this afternoon because they had to wake up a lot very early this morning. And maybe they will go for a quick walk this afternoon to move the legs a little and not be in bed all the afternoon.
Which they probably would quite like after such an early start. And so we can see here we're just about to go to flower ceremony. This is a great view now here of the Here we are.
Representing Switzerland with Caroline Ulrich, Matteo Favre.
Fantastic result there for Caroline Ulrich and Matteo Favre, probably two of the youngest teammates.
They are on the wrong side of the podium. They're on the second place.
Yeah, somebody will move them.
First place is on the right side.
And then
Yeah, there they go.
ISMF delegate. Second place.
I have spent many times as the course speaker going, no, over there. Romain Galando and Emily Harrop, second place today. Another young athlete, Robin Galando. And you say Caroline Ulrich not had a great last few races, but really, what a remarkable start to her season as a senior athlete.
Yeah, but now for the next few weeks she has to carry
an injury.
Yeah, she has an injury on her wrist, and so she has to be careful.
And here we are, the winners of the mixed relay here in Val Martello. Oriol Cardona-Coll and Ana Alonso Rodriguez of Spain. Very excited to go back to their home country next week to start the World Championships and see how they can perform in front of a home crowd.
In the meantime, they will have time to eat all those apples.
Yeah, build up their vitamin C. Very exciting. It's very color coordinated as well.
And you hear the support of all the teams, 12 teams. So congratulations to all of them with the top 3. With Spain, Oriol Cardona, Alonso, France, Bagalindo,
the officials joining them on the podium.
Yes.
Matteo Favre, Caroline Ulrich. And here we are.
Having fun with the camera.
Yeah, so well, what a great day's racing. It's such an exciting race to see, and it's really, I mean, I used to love it when it was the teams of 4 men, 4 women, but I think we're all sort of understanding that this is the new format, this is the way, this is how it's going to go. It gives the opportunity to see men and women racing over the same course, and it's...
Yeah, and also one problem with the teams of 4 men or 3 women is that it limited a lot the amount of nations who were able to have such teams.
Exactly.
Now you only need 1 man and 1 woman to make a team. But before it was 4 men, so
yeah.
Some teams don't have that.
Exactly. No, that's a very fair point. You know, for example, we see here Slovakia and, you know, being able to race, and the United States, the people that don't have that many people here at the time.
Yeah, I'm happy that they changed it, because even at the Youth Olympic Games in Lausanne, it was 2 women and 2 men forming the mixed relay. So now with 1 woman and 1 man, it opens the field a lot more, and it's easier for more teams to be competitive as well, because having 2 strong men and 2 strong women is more difficult than to have 1 and 1.
Yes, very true.
But yeah, for sure, some teams would like to be able to register 6 or 7 teams.
Yeah.
Because they are the big nations and have a deep field of athletes.
And there's a good mix there of there's Alessandra Schmidt of Switzerland chatting with the French team, Emily Harrop. There's Rhea Colball of the United States just on the left of our screen.
Alessandra sadly had the 3rd best time among women this morning, but since her team with Arnaud Gasser, who were only the 3rd fastest teams this morning, and that the 2 in front of them were Swiss teams, they were not able to take part in the final.
Okay, and so we're actually going to have another look at the replay of today's race, which was the mixed relay here in Val Martello. It's the 5th Vertmotiv ISMF World Cup of 2023.
So one thing to know as well is that
We had the mixed relay. We just had a quick recap there of what happened today, and if you missed it, but I'll just give you a very quick recap. Ana Alonso Rodriguez, Oriol Cardona Cole, ahead of Emily Harrapin, Romain Galando, and Caroline Ulrich and Matteo Favre of Switzerland. It was Spain, France, Switzerland here in Val Martello in the Stelvio National Park. Oh, and there we have something that we've seen the Swiss introducing, but a warm down, a cool down, or whatever one calls it, by the Spaniards.
Yes, since this year the Swiss team is bringing bikes for the recovery and the warm-up of the athletes for sprint and mixed relays. And yes, some other teams are getting inspired by the Swiss team.
Max, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. Now, what's coming up next? It's the World Championships in Boitaul. We've got the sprint
yes.
on the 28th of February, starting at 12:15 with the semi-finals and the last finals, which will be the men's at 12:50. Also that week, we will have the individual and the relay being broadcast, but that's the next time you will be on the course. I will have the headset on, and I'm wishing you the very best for tomorrow and for the World Championships and the rest of the season. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and yeah, see you, or you will see me on the other side of the screen
I
for
will.
the next races.
I will see you hopefully on the podium, certainly on the piste. Thank you very much, and thank you to everybody joining us today. That has been the mixed relay in Italy. We will see you in Boitaul next Tuesday, the 28th of February. Bye-bye.